to the channel, everyone. Today we're bringing you our week 5 matchup from the British Pokemon League. We lost last week and we're looking to make some redemption happen. Get back on that winning path, surge our way through adversity and make a comeback in the standings. We're playing our good friend Josh, our little bit of a draft rivalry going on. We've played each other in a few different leagues, some single leagues, some VGC leagues. And unfortunately, I have never beat Mr. Josh in a draft league battle. We're looking to change our fortunes this week as we take him on here. You see, his team has some really threatening trick room options. Unfortunately, this isn't the team that he had when we battled, as I'm doing some post commentary here over the matchup, because if you caught my video from our week 4 matchup, there was some flooding that occurred in eastern Kentucky, unfortunately, and I had family down there, so I had to go help out. So the team isn't what we had planned for last week. He had a Togekiss instead of Diancie, was the major difference here. Bruxfish was something else, I forget what it was. I could look it up, but don't think it matters. So we'll just pretend that whatever mon it was, it's right there where Bruxfish was, or is. I don't recall it mattering because I'm pretty sure all the mons he brought is on my screen currently. We'll get into that when we go into the battle. I have the battles without live commentary, but it was recorded live. I just couldn't do commentary because it was done literally the night before I left, and I had to go to bed immediately because I got up at like 6 a.m. the next morning to head down there and help, but we'll do what we can. You see, this team of his has some really threatening mons with the Trick Room mode of Ursaluna, Bronzong, and Drowgy. He has a fast mode with the Sceptile and the Electrode, and even the Volbeat, giving him Tailwind if he wants it. He has great support with Arcanine, and at the time, Togekiss for redirection, and the Squirtle. He wants to swear his up and down Squirtle should be on this team. I'm still trying to convince him to trade it immediately because I don't think it does anything for him. I'll probably shoot up a little discussion from Discord here, where I basically flat out told him my game plan for this. He was talking about how he wasn't feeling the team, and I told him he should just use his Trick Room mode more because he hadn't brought it that often. And I straight out told him I was going to try to out Trick Room his Trick Room. Sure, originally when I said it I was joking, but the more I looked into the matchup, the more I actually believed my Trick Room mode could beat his if he didn't exactly expect me to play Trick Room, because why would I into this matchup? But it was a fun little concept. In this matchup, we have a mon making his debut with Girafarig. Now, just to not spoil a little bit, because I will show my spreads here in a minute in the showdown, but Girafarig had a really funny set on him this week, and it was a key component of the team, in all honesty, just for some fun. But besides that, we did have our Trick Room options. Things like Bulu looked amazing into the matchup, being able to basically Oko Ursaluna with Woodhammer, being able to have that Mega Horn for Sceptile, having the Rock Slide for Arcanine and Togekiss, and even the Volbeat if it came. And it was just really solid overall. Obviously, Zero Aura is coming pretty much every week. We have some fun sets on it. But this was the matchup, and we'll slide over into Showdown and look at our team a bit. Just sliding into our team builder here and what we brought this week versus Mr. Josh. You see our Girafarig set here is a tad bit spicy, if I must say so myself. We have the Galan Berry. This is just so that our natural gift is an ice type attack. Ideally, he doesn't expect Girafarig to have an ice type move, and we can just one-shot that Sceptile. We were scared of Sceptile just because it is his mega option of the team. and if he goes with a fast mode, removing it will be critical. We are Sap Sipper, obviously, just so we can eat a Leaf Storm, and we have enough bulk in this so that we can live a Dragon Pulse. After that, we have Zen Headbutt to hit things like the Dragonal, and we have Recycle just in case we need that berry back. Just so that, you know, we can hit off another natural give into something like Ursaluna if need be. And obviously giving a +1 defense if we would, you know, fall below to that crucial point and get it and then recover it. We could go +2 maybe and live some other attacks. You see we're minus speed, you know, and leaning into that Trick Room mode on the team. After that, we have our boy Jellicent with Room Service. This is so that we will underspeed Ursaluna in Trick Room. And obviously, if we're not in Trick Room, we should outspeed Ursaluna with this build as well. As long as, you know, Trick Room hasn't went up, and obviously Room Service hasn't dropped our speed by 1 yet. You see on the set, we have Scald, Ice Beam, Trick Room, and Recover. Scald, just to hit things generally for stab. Things like Ursaluna is going to take good damage from it. Ice Beam's there to hit Sceptile, obviously, because as I've said before, Sceptile is a threat to us. Then just Trick Room so we can start our own Trick Room if he doesn't bring the Trick Room package. It just gives us a way to play in Trick Room. Obviously, we need that on the team if we're playing Trick Room. How many times can I say Trick Room recovering 1 Mon? And then just recover, you know, general recovering capabilities. Get our health back on the Jellicent. We'll max special attack because we're more offensive Jellicent this week. We're not really wanting to stay on the field a whole lot, but we do want to stay on the field and do as much damage as possible, hence why we're still max HP. After that, we have Zeraora with an Edge Runner and Orb. This is so that we can outspeed Mega Sceptile if he would lead it and Arcanine, or Arcanine would switch in, because Sceptile outspeeds Zeraora, unfortunately. And that could create some issues if we want to play a faster game, because we do have slight options to play faster if need be, but obviously since our key goal is to be a Trick Room team, he is coming mainly for Fake Out so that we can Fake Out and set Trick Room. He has coaching to help, you know, boost up things like Tyranitar and Bulu, even Girafarig if need be. Dual Chop as a way to hit Mega Sceptile, because once again, Sceptile is a threat, and obviously we don't have an electric move this week because we could bring something like Electro Web to get around the Lightning Rod, but if we're playing Trick Room, we don't really want to slow him down, as we want to be the slow mons on the team, on the field. And then we have Snarl, just to drop his special attackers, things like Sceptile, if he would get, you know, Electrode out there and get those discharges going. It gives us a way to drop that special attack back down. And then after that, we have our boy Scizor. He was on the team for the Togekiss because I did have a phenomenal way to hit Togekiss if we're not bringing an electric type move on the Zeraora, so we needed a way to hit it outside of Tyranitar. Obviously, we have the Gluttonberry Natural Power for the Ice type attack from Girafarig, but I didn't want to waste that on Togekiss if I didn't have to. So I brought our boy Scizor with just Bullet Punch and Bug Bite. Bug Bite was to hit some of the other things on the team. Knockoff was just really good cover to get rid of items. We can knock off, say, a Flame Orb from Ursaluna if it came out, and things like that. We just went max attack to get as much damage on the field as possible, and then just max HP for general bulk. You see it has an Alka Berry. This is just to be able to help with live attacks from the Arcanine, because I'm quite confident Arcanine's coming, because why wouldn't it? It's one of his best mons. After that, Mega Tyranitar is making his debut, just because the rock type attacks looked really good into the matchup. Being able to hit, you know, the Togekiss, the Volbeat, different things. We have the Crunch on there just for the dark type stab onto different mons. And then we have Low Kick for Ursaluna. This should OHKO or do about 70% to most Ursalunas. OHKO if he has no bulk for some strange reason, if he's going for like a Tailwind, max speed Ursaluna build for some reason. And then just protect, you know, obviously the staple VGC move, max attack for ultimate damage, and just max HP for general bulk. And then we have the mon that excites me the most for this matchup. our Iron Ball Tapu Bulu. Max attack and max HP just for the damage and health as always. Wood Hammer to Oko Ursaluna. Mega Horn to Oko Mega Sceptile. High Horsepower to Oko Dragonal. Overall, Tapu Bulu looks incredible in this matchup if I keep it away from the Dragonal. If we're in Trick Room, we should underspeed it. Well, not underspeed it, but you know, we underspeed it naturally, so we should be faster than it in Trick Room. Protect, just again, staple VGC move, but I'm looking very excited into this matchup. I felt really good about this team, and we'll see how it did in our Week 5 matchup against our rival, Josh. So, getting into our game here, we see the mons that he brought with the Sceptile, the Togekiss, the Arcanine, the Ursaluna, the Volbeat, and the Dragonal. Pretty much identically to what we expected, except the fact he has a Volbeat here, which, you know, could have came, could have not came, but the fact that it came over Bronzong is a good indication that he's not playing Trick Room, as he doesn't have a setter. So we know that our Trick Room mode will be able to outrun his, obviously, because I'm assuming if he doesn't have a Trick Room setter, he has speed investment on things. We get the lead that we dreamed of with the Sceptile and Arcanine. Our Girafarig is in position to do its one and only job of obliterating the Sceptile off the face of the planet. The Intimidate obviously is unfortunate for Zeraora's attack stat, but it does give us our +1 speed. The attack drop on Girafarig won't matter because of its investment and the fact that it is a 4-time super effective move. He goes for the Leaf Storm into the Sap Sipper Girafarig, so Sceptile does literally nothing and dies in the process. Turn 1 couldn't have been drawn up any better. It is exactly what I wanted. We got the fake out on the Arcanine, so it didn't get to do anything. And we got Sceptile off the field immediately, and it didn't get to do anything. So going into turn 2, we are up 4-3 and have took no damage. Now, looking at things here, you see the good old Volbeat comes out, so obviously he could be going for Tailwind here is what I originally assumed. He could also be going for things like Taunt if he expects my Zeraora to have coaching or something. But he ends up going for the Encore, which traps us into Fake Out, unfortunately. And he goes for a big Flare Blitz into Girafarig, which is unfortunate because we went for a Recycle. A tad bit of a greedy play instead of going for something like a Zen Headbutt. But I really didn't expect him to attack Girafarig that turn, so our Recycle doesn't replenish our Ice-type move with Natural Power, but it just gives us a +1 defense if I wanted to stay out on the field. Obviously, I want Zeraora off the field, so I'm going to be switching it out into Jellicent, as Jellicent should be able to live anything on the field that's attacking, and just protecting the Girafarig as a, you know, a nice safe play to get our Jellicent out on the field and give us that possibility of a Trick Room. Obviously, we have to figure something like Taunt on Volbeat, which I'm pretty sure it gets, but I'm not, you know, 100% sure on that. But it is something that we have to keep in the back of our mind here as we bring out the Jellicent, our good boy. The MVP of our team, in all honesty, even though it hasn't done much offensively this season, it continues to put in work for us over and over on the season. When it comes out, it's just so annoying for things to kill. But here you see me, I'm looking at the Trick Room option, and we will end up going with it and bringing out the Zeraora this turn. He goes for the Encore, trying to lock us into the Recover, which we switch out, luckily, and we get our Trick Room up. And most importantly here, since Zeraora just came out on the field, we have Fake Out to be able to stop that Volbeat from Encoring our Jellicent into Trick Room again, which would force us, obviously, to switch the Jellicent out and take damage onto something that we have in the back, which would be, you know, unfortunate for us overall. So we're going to Fake Out the Volbeat and stop it from Encore locking our Jellicent, and Scald is going to do 52% to the Arcanine. You know, putting it down to 14%, we would have KO'd it if we didn't have the special attack drop from the Snarls, but it is what it is. He goes for Snarl again, and we get the disable, which is nice. I don't know that it's incredibly, you know, important or game determining that we got that disable, but it's always nice so that he can no longer, you know, start dropping our Jellicent special attack more if we didn't want to target it. But he switches it out here and lets Dragonal eat a Scald, which will get a burn, which, you know, isn't, you know, it isn't incredible into the Dragonal, but we covered for this switch, and we went for the dual chop on Zeraora, mainly because Snarl wasn't going to do a whole lot for us in that position, and it was our only attacking move. But also, I really thought Dragonal had a chance of coming out if he wanted to reset Arcanine for Intimidate with some of the things that we have in the back, because obviously we have, you know, 3 physical attackers in the back on this team, so he knew that, and Intimidate was incredibly important. But we get a free recover here, and he goes for the lunge onto Zeraora, just wanting to, you know, get rid of it. I missed what Zeraora went for, but I'm assuming it was a dual chop again into the Dragonal on that Protect. I don't know why am I recording skipping around a tad bit, which I'll apologize for that now. But here, you know, we just pull back Zeraora to reset our fake out because we want to be able to go and set up Trick Room again if need be, and we'll just sack off the Girafarig here to the Dragonal. I am really confused why my recording is skipping around back, but we'll send out Bulu here. This is a bit of a misplay as it should have been Zeraora, but it is what it is. And we'll just protect the good old Bulu, eat up that Sludge Bomb from Dragonal. The Volbeat did go for Tailwind, which is always nice. And now we're in a decent position, I would say, overall, where, you know, we have a 3-3 battle, but his Dragonal and Arcanine are both almost dead, and Volbeat isn't, you know, an offensive mon. You see me here really looking over my options as to what I could do this turn, and it is a simple just pull back Bulu into Jellicent, because I'm assuming he has to assume that my Bulu is in fact faster than his Dragonal, because why in my right mind would I be running an Iron Ball Bulu? We get the Snarl, but the Dragonal Protect obviously, so we don't get to drop that special attack. And we just get Jellicent in. He goes for the Draco Meteor, and we eat it up because Jellicent is just a beast. So now this Dragonal's attack is -4, so it's going to be doing no damage whatsoever. And we are inside a Trick Room again with our boy Jellicent and Bulu in the back at full health, which is incredible in the matchup because we've discussed in, you know, our team preparations here. You see me really looking over my options as to what I want to do. And it is an interesting spot because the Jellicent could be Encore locked, but we also don't want to just switch in Bulu and eat a Sludge Bomb, so it's an awkward position on what we want to do. And you see us really thinking it over, and him thinking over what he wants to do, because this is a critical turn for the battle overall. But me thinking Dragonal's going to fall anyways here on this turn, more than likely. But Snarl ends up picking up the KO because we know we're a slower Zeraora, which this is really nice knowing that he is Tailwind inside the Trick Room, so that Dragonal is going to be faster. So our Snarl is absolutely free. I'm pretty sure what's skipping is I'm probably hitting skip turn in the recording of this like an idiot. That is unfortunate. But we have our Bulu in and our Jellicent in. And this should just be a cleanup here from Bulu, because we have the high horsepower for Arcanine, and then we can just chip away on Volbeat between the Jellicent and the good old boy Bulu. This turn, I believe, it's just a high horsepower and a Scald. Or it's a recover because we wanted to keep Jellicent on the field. That is right. That is my bad. This turn, we just go for Woodhammer to see how much it does into Volbeat and a Scald. We want to gauge his Volbeat a tad bit as it's in a 2-on-1, so we feel quite confident that we're going to win anyways. But this was just really to gauge its spread, and we see that it only did 17, so we know that it probably has a little bit of bulk in it. But we'll just protect the Bulu to be safe and just scold it down with the good old boy Jellicent and slide on over into game number dos. And now we have, game 2 numbers here. We're really looking it over. I messed up my thing, and now Jellicent is female, which is highly unfortunate because we all know that male Jellicent is just superior blue jelly all the way. We felt really good about how game number 1 went, but we know Girafarig isn't going to catch him again more than likely, so we end up leaving it here, and we bring Mega Tyranitar this time because it looked really good into what he brought last time, being able to hit the Arcanine and the Volbeat for super effective with Rock Slide. It covers Togekiss if it comes somewhat. Then obviously it has a low kick for Ursaluna if you'd want to bring that this time. Besides that, it's a very similar game plan to what we did in game number 1, and it's just a matter of seeing how he adapts and how we can adapt to match his changes. And this game of chess that me and him's going to be having going into this game too. Josh is a phenomenal player, so I am a tad bit nervous about what he could be going for going into game 2 here. Obviously, he has some tricks up his sleeve, but this is me we're talking about, and I don't know what my team does half the time when I bring it, so we just lead Sceptile and Jellicent, going for that Trick Room immediately. We have the Fake Out into Sceptile, stopping its Grass type move from going into the Jellicent. We'll be able to get a Trick Room for free, basically. Obviously, the Volbeat has decent disruption options that it could go for. Possibly a taunt. If it does get, if I swear, if Volbeat doesn't get taunt, I'm gonna look like a complete idiot, but I do not care. But just a Fake Out and Trick Room is our best play overall. We obviously want to get our Trick Room up for our Iron Ball Bulu in the back, and even our Mega Tyranitar being slower than most of his team, especially if that Dragonal has speed investment. It's really big for us. It lets us be in, the driver's seat of the matchup overall. As the little Volbeat is just going to sit there and jump back and forth and be as intimidating as the little bug could be. Obviously, we have Bulu in the back, which against this lead looks really nice as well. Having the Mega Horn for Sceptile, having the Rock Slide for the Volbeat. Zeraora is able to hit the Sceptile as well with Dual Chop. We could go for an Ice Beam if we want, but just Fake Out and Trick Room is obviously going to be our best play, as I've said, as this is just a Trick Room a bust situation for us, in all honesty. We know that he wants to go fast, so our faster mode isn't going to work because we don't have fast speed control. We get the Fake Out, and the Volbeat goes for the Thunder Wave and gets the full para. Josh, at this point, just hacks me out of my Trick Room. And this is very scary, as we really needed that Trick Room up. And now, without the Fake Out pressure, the Sceptile is going to be able to OHKO our Jellicent with Leaf Storm if we don't do something. Obviously, our best play here is going to be switching in the Bulu to be able to eat that Leaf Storm, and hopefully, start to get our way back into the game and get the momentum to swing back in our favor. But that Paralyze on Jellicent is incredibly annoying and frustrating. It really shut down our game plan to start off this game, and we're going to have to adapt our way back in. Out comes the Bulu, as we've said. Sets the Grassy Terrain, and he Mega Evolves the Sceptile. He goes for the Leaf Storm, which we eat, kinda. Obviously, we're going to get Encored again to the Zeraora, forcing us into Fake Out, but I didn't want to double switch this turn because I was extremely terrified of that Leaf Storm possibly going into Zeraora, predicting a switch, in which case I didn't want Tyranitar to eat a Leaf Storm, obviously. But since we're now locked into Encore on Zeraora, it's kind of scary because we're gonna either have to sit here and Fake Out and do nothing with Zeraora, or we're gonna have to risk switching in a Jellicent or a Tyranitar. But with it being at -2, I felt comfortable bringing in Jellicent, hoping that with, our max HP, we'll be able to eat it somewhat nice and have a decent Trick Room option later. But Jellicent does not, in fact, eat a Leaf Storm at -2. In fact, he barely lives it. The lunge goes into our Bulu, who just protected, which is nice, and we'll bring out Zeraora immediately because we do not want Jellicent on this field. The -4 Leaf Storm still does a decent chunk to Zeraora, all things considered, and we miss our Mega Horn. This game is going incredibly wrong for us. We got the full pair on Jellicent. We switch in Jellicent expecting to maybe take about half from a Leaf Storm and almost lose it. Our Bulu misses an incredibly important Mega Horn into the Sceptile. And at this point, it's looking like anything and everything that could go wrong in this matchup is happening. And that is something that is incredibly disheartening for us, as, you know, we're really looking to bring our way back into this game. And at this point, I'm really struggling to see like a concrete, solid way into this matchup. We do have the fake out pressure back out on the field with Zeraora, but obviously he could just protect to avoid that. We also have to worry about him encore locking our Bulu into protect. And there's just several factors here of things that we have to fear. Obviously we can't just bring Jellicent out because it will die if he goes for a Leaf Storm into that slot again. But honestly, at this point, I'm not expecting him to once he's seen that we revealed the Mega Horn. Because he knows he's not going to be able to KO Bulu this turn, so he's going to have to come up with a way to stay in this game without risking the Sceptile, and that is just switching in Arcanine for the Intimidate, which Arcanine after an Intimidate is going to be able to eat up a Mega Horn. But we do predict that, and we go for a Coaching High Horsepower. And we do about half to the Arcanine. It was, at that point, I was thinking I had to make a big play to get into the game again. And I took that big play as predicting the Arcanine switch in and going for the high horsepower coaching. We're now in a position where he's going to be faster, but we can get Jellicent in and coaching it, because obviously he's probably going to go for an encore. And with that coaching, Jellicent lives the Flare Blitz, which is incredible. It is absolutely incredible for us that it lives that, because it gives us a way into Tyranitar, because we know it should go for Flare Blitz again, and since we're trapped into coaching, we're just going to roll with it, which that coaching lets us eat that Flare Blitz and lunge, seeing that, you know, we come in basically and only take about 35% of our health, which is really nice for Tyranitar being able to now Mega Evolve. And then after that, we're going to be able to get a coaching off into it again here, so we'll be at +2 defense and +1 attack, which the Arcanine reveals close combat, and because of those two coachings, we live, which is massive for us. He lunges the Zeraora, which is nice, but I don't know if lunging Tyranitar would have mattered. We get the double KO with the Rock Slide, which is huge. Because Arcanine and Volbeat are now both gone, we're slowly chipping our way back into this game, but we have the threat that Sceptile has no damage on it, and Dragonol is at full health as well. And we don't really have the best way to deal with what's on the field. So this turn I just go for the dual chop, I believe, into the Sceptile, hoping for the best. Oh no, we just go for the Snarl, that's right, because we want to drop the special attacks as they're both special attackers. Protect the Tyranitar so that it eats the Leaf Storm up. Here we're going to bring out Jellicent because we absolutely do not want to eat a Sludge Bomb onto Bulu. And there's always, you know, a small chance maybe he doesn't target the Jellicent for some reason. But obviously this game is looking incredibly dire, and we have to pray for something ridiculous to happen. We fail the double protect. The Leaf Storm will knock out the Tyranitar. The Dragonol will KO Jellicent with Sludge Bomb, leaving us with just Bulu. But the boy Jellicent does it again. The boy Jellicent keeps us in the game by getting the Disable and the Sludge Bomb, which I cannot express how important that was. Disabling Sludge Bomb means this Dragonol does not have a way to hit our Bulu. Assuming he doesn't have a way to hit Bulu, that is. Which him going for Protect is a really good sign that he doesn't. We eat the Leaf Storm because it was at -3 at that point. It's now at -5 special attack, and we have a way back into this game. We know high horsepower will OHKO that Diagonal. So we just have to hope that he doesn't get a double Protect somewhere wildly, or he doesn't have some weird coverage move. We see he doesn't. We eat the Leaf Storm, so he dropped his special attack where it's going to do nothing. We get the high horsepower into Diagonal, and now we have to pray that this doesn't crit, and that we can hit a Mega Horn, and our boy Bulu comes up clutch and hits the Mega Horn to let us win versus our rival Josh in Week 5, advancing us to 4-1, making our comeback, finally getting a win versus our friend Josh. And what a turn of events in that battle. That battle was one of my favorite battles I've had in a while. Jellicent came up clutch, saving us from an awful position, and it was just really fun all around. Kudos to Josh. He had some fun things on the team, but I felt really good about my team going in, and it did show up in prime time for me, baby. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all next week. See ya.